What's up, everybody? It's Jason McLaren with This Show is a Disaster Podcast. Today we're talking about fireworks and putting on your own show. Tomorrow we'll talk about going to other shows or general fireworks safety. All right, so putting on your own show, when I was a Air Force firefighter, putting on fireworks shows was my favorite thing to do. I would spend lots of money on fireworks, and it can be really fun to do that, but it can be dangerous, right? We all know that fireworks are dangerous. That's why people like them. But there's 6 things I want to talk about today that will help you be safe and have fun and have that fireworks show that you want to do. I know I always took this really big and, like I said, spent a bunch of money and just wanted to make sure my family was safe when they were there, and that we did it fun and did it right. The first thing is the site where you're going to do it. You want to make sure, one, it's legal to do fireworks wherever you're at, and that you have a safe area and enough space to do the fireworks. Obviously, if you live in an apartment complex or a condo or something like that, you're probably not going to be able to do your own fireworks show. You want to make sure that the firing area, which is where you're going to be shooting the fireworks off, is clear and has enough space for whatever you're shooting off. If you know there's all kinds of different fireworks, there's bottle rockets, there's mortars, that sort of thing. Each one of those has different ranges that you want to take into consideration. And then where is that debris going to go? Where's those mortars going to land? Where are the bottle rockets going to land? Because they could still have a little bit of embers or fire on them, and you don't want to start any fires, which we'll talk about in a second. You want to make sure you're away from buildings. You don't want any of those mortars or bottle rockets or anything going into a crevice on a building or landing on a roof, especially if they have cedar shingles. Those things can light up very easily. And you want to make sure that you're not in an area with a lot of brush or dry grass. Where I live right now, we have a lot of sand, so it's a pretty good area. But there's still brush, and in East Texas here, those brush can just run on you, and it'll create a big fire, and you're going to cause a lot more problems than are worth having this fireworks show. Getting back into the mortars, aerial fireworks, those are the ones everybody likes. They go up in the air and blow up. Well, they got to come back down somewhere, right? You want to make sure you're not raining down fiery fireworks debris on people, and that you're a safe distance away from everybody. Once again, look at whatever kind of fireworks they are and make sure that it is going to be safe for the area. You want to make sure that you have a wide assortment of fireworks. You don't want to just keep having mortars go off, because that's one, it's not going to be very fun to look at, but also it can hurt people's ears and that sort of thing. They can cover up their ears for 1 or 2 shots, but they're not going to stand there and hold their ears the whole time that you're shooting off these giant mortars. And then there's all the different kind of Roman candles and the helicopters and that sort of thing. You want to make sure that those are all done safely, and that they're not going to fly off and hit someone in the eye and that sort of thing. And if you're the actual person that is shooting off the fireworks, you want to make sure that your clothes are fire resistant. You're not wearing a lot of polyester type things, and that your shirts aren't going to catch on fire. You want to make sure that you're using a long lighting rod or a lighting stick, something that you can have a little bit of distance in case that mortar short fires and it doesn't pop off in your face or something like that. Goggles are also useful, or safety glasses, I would suggest. That way, if that does fire off early, it doesn't pop you in the eye. I actually have permanent hearing loss in my right ear from a M80 going off on my shoulder one time. It was not very fun. Messed up a lot of my career choices going forward, because I didn't have the right hearing requirements, but it is what it is. You want to make sure you have a water hose nearby, or fire extinguishers, even better. I know people say water hoses because everybody has them, but fire extinguishers aren't that expensive nowadays, and a lot of times you can get a used one from a fire extinguisher company, if you call it actual company, rather than going to like Home Depot or Walmart. All right, before you want to start shooting off stuff, you want to make sure that the wind is blowing the right way. Once again, you don't want that debris flying in the wrong direction and landing on your neighbor's house, and then you have to talk to them after all that. But make sure that that's going on. Make sure your spectators are a safe distance away, and that they're not too close to the fireworks. One good benefit about the fireworks is that they do make a good display, and you don't have to be right up against them. Finally, you want to make sure that you clean up after yourself, especially if you're at an area that's not yours. You want to make sure that you clean up, pick up any debris. There's going to be a lot of cardboard trash from the fireworks, and you want to make sure that there's no embers running around. And if you have like a little pit area where you've been shooting the fireworks off, you want to kind of wet that down a little bit. Make sure that it's not, it's not going to reignite on you there. So anyway, that's all common sense, I think. But make sure it's legal in your area and that you're going to have a fun night. Once again, we'll talk about some more fireworks stuff tomorrow. Wrap up this 4th of July series for the short week here, and hope you have a good day. Jason McLaren signing off.